Hello you mighty fine people, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to cut straight to the point here, but yes, you saw the title, the fight in Heathmoor is over for me. For a long time now, I've struggled to keep this channel active and relevant. I've struggled to make content, to find time, stick to projects that I have good ideas for, but I seemingly just can't execute. And it dawned on me that I've been ignoring a simple but crucial fact when it comes to my experience in this game. I am simply not having fun playing For Honor anymore. And that's the unfortunate truth, one that I've been avoiding confronting. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this game, I've had a lot of fun with it over the years, and I don't regret putting my time into it, and nor do I want to dissuade anyone else from playing this game. Ubisoft has something really special here that they themselves are a bit too blind to realise. I've made a lot of friends through this game, built up my channel and software knowledge through learning and editing this game. I learned to be more analytical, how to critique my own gameplay, and how to improve. It's been a journey and one I have no regrets embarking on. And I commend the development team for striving to improve the game as frequently as they have been doing. But, with all that said, I don't enjoy the game anymore. Little things have added up over time and I just can't ignore it. This game needs other avenues of improvements. Team migration would alleviate the frustration of Breach, every match is one-sided with people rage quitting out, the toxicity of some people in the chat, which I know you can turn off and I have done now, because sometimes people have said things that irrevocably piss me off. Particularly things around the term KYS, you know what it means, or cancer. So those people, if you're one of those people, go get help, please. Test Your Metal has made me relive the ordeal of For Honor's abysmal drop rates. I work full-time and have other obligations in my life that I can't commit to a full 24-hour session to grinding out limited time cosmetics. It's frustrating, which I'm sure you all know. I've seen people collect shinies in Pokemon faster. The state of balance, while improving, is still quite lopsided. A lot of the characters that I personally enjoy playing are not great fits for 4v4 modes, which for me is the main appeal of the game. The dodge attack changes I personally don't like outside of the collision iframes. I think for the most part it's made the game easier in a bad way. Not an accessible way, but an overall change ignorant of dodge attacks and their individual properties in general. Sure, I like duels and brawls, but they just don't have the same excitement. Especially brawls, when so many players think it's a For Honor faux pas to play an actual 2v2. All of my friends I regularly played this game with a long time ago have since dropped the game. And I swear that I always get paired with a team that has no idea the mid lane is relevant to Dominion, or love to force feed Heathmoor's most popular breakfast cereal, Revengeos. But with all my grievances, I personally think that as a player, I think I've peaked. I'm certainly not a top player, but I'd like to think I'm pretty good at the game. Lately though, could be the enjoyment factor, but I feel like I'm always playing poorly. I make all the wrong reads. I don't usually mind losing, I never have. It's part of the experience, and if you study your losses, you get better. But my wins don't feel earned anymore. Maybe I'm being left behind in terms of skill, and maybe I'll come back one time and pick up a sword again, but for now, For Honor simply isn't enjoyable, and again, I think I may have peaked as a player. And, that's okay. More importantly, though, I can't make content on something that I don't enjoy. Because if I don't enjoy it, my viewers are not going to enjoy it. And besides, I don't really have anything to offer this community anymore. Guides are irrelevant for a game that's over 6 years old, and you've got great content creators out there, like Conrock Productions, Havoc, John DeLiner, Faram, and of course Freeze, who will always keep you all up to date. There's many more, and I think I will find a new passion for content creation elsewhere, and for the few of you that are subscribed and have stayed the way watching in what little distribution I have in terms of videos, then I thank you. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world. Because I really have been proud of the efforts I put into the channel. I know that earlier on in the channel's life, I definitely did more work than I have done in recent years. But if anybody wants to leave that hasn't left it already, I completely understand. Because obviously For Honor is where the bulk of my content was. It's where I got my start. But there's not going to be any more For Honor content for the foreseeable future. I'm not going to rule it out permanently, but for now, I want to refocus and relaunch this channel into content that I am excited about. So, what is the new content going to be? So, I want to make content on the upcoming Street Fighter 6. I have always been an avid fighting game fan. I have never played at a competitive level, more of a casual level, but I've always adored fighting games. And I have played hours and hours in the Street Fighter 6 demo. I only got to play the open beta for 2 days, but it's the most fun I've had in a long time. So I think I'd like to start making content on Street Fighter 6. That's going to be probably one of the main focuses, alongside a lot of challenge-style videos. Starting off probably with the Resident Evil series, because that is one of my favourite series. And again, if I can make content that I enjoy, it's going to be enjoyable to watch. And that's the goal here. So we'll expand out into other games. The Batman Arkham series is certainly one I would like to look into as well. I know that's it's an aged franchise, I suppose, 2009 to 2015, but again, these sort of challenge videos can date back to any kind of game, as early as back as the Super Nintendo. And believe me, I'd like to touch a lot of games that I find exciting to play, that I think can make for good content. Resident Evil, I've got a lot of ideas going forward. Street Fighter is something I'm very excited for, and I definitely still want to play a game with a competitive element. For Honor has definitely helped me with finding that competitive need, the drive to fight other people and get better, and I think a game like Street Fighter is a perfect fit for me. So I'm looking forward to making content on Street Fighter, on Resident Evil, and potentially Mortal Kombat 1. I'm waiting to see whether or not the gameplay pans out, because Mortal Kombat 11 for me was a bit of a dud. MK10 was great. I loved that game. Again, it was at a casual level, but I would love to start playing these games competitively. And I think it's easier to make content on games like that. It's easier to digest content like that. And because it's easier, it works around a busy schedule. It's something that I'm very excited for. I mean, you probably can't tell from the tone of my voice, but I'm a very robotic person when it comes to recording audio, as you probably already know. And while this video started as a scripted video, it's now gone completely off the rails and completely off the cuff. But yeah, that's where the channel is going. So I just wanted to thank everybody who stuck with me during the whole mess of the past 2 years that's been the chaos of my life for me and my partner. We're coming out the other side, and we're doing better than ever, which is great. But this channel simply can't go on the way it's going on, because I can't make content on a game I'm not enjoying anymore, and I can't stay relevant with For Honor. I would have to pump out content at an alarming rate to even compete with some of the other content creators. And while I don't think that competing is necessarily the correct term, you still, as a YouTube channel, want to attract people with views. And I think I can actually make myself a niche edge for that in games like Resident Evil and Street Fighter. Yeah, I might not be a competitively minded player, but I've got some good ideas, and I think we'll get this channel going in the right direction going forward. So, with that, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. It has been an absolute honour to fight beside you and against you in Heathmoor. Thank you all so much for understanding, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully. All the best, my friends. Ciao for now.